How are you today? Today we're going to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. A lot of people are confused and they don't understand what's going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James. So I'm going to try to make it very brief as possible for those who don't know. Of course, there are a lot of opinions and sayings going around the whole issue. Many things, even before the season started. It's like a real live soap opera. So let's just talk about some basics that it's important for everyone to know. Okay, firstly, you have to understand, for those who don't, and for those who do, you know what I'm talking about. This is LeBron James's last year of his contract. Of course, it can be renewed, and he can continue if he chooses to, but he will be a free agent. So just that alone creates some problems for the management of the Cleveland Cavaliers because they don't know. Now, you also have to understand before that, what happened. You have to understand that the first year when LeBron James came back to Cleveland, they didn't win. But that's because Kyrie was a very important part of their success. It was a two-part combination, LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. They were two very important parts. One couldn't win without the other. They went together. So that was very important. But the first year, LeBron James did an excellent job of getting to the finals, but he couldn't win without Kyrie Irving. They needed, both of them. And so when they went back the second year, and Kyrie Irving was healthy, playing very well, and they pulled off a miracle. I mean, really, you have to understand that even with Kyrie Irving, they went down 3-1. So imagine, you can see how good the Golden State Warriors were even then. They were about to sweep them, but when they went down 3-1, of course, they didn't sweep them when they won a game, but they showed that they had the ability to almost sweep them, or at least to end it with only one game being won by the Cleveland Cavaliers. But somehow, now, LeBron James felt this great drive because he promised to come back and bring a championship to Cleveland. He felt like he had so much to give them. He promised so much, and he had the great desire to deliver that promise because he was hated very much when he left Cleveland. So when he came back, he had this burning desire to, win the love of Cleveland once again. And he also had Kyrie Irving with him that year. So they fought tooth and nail, and they came back from a 3-1 deficit. They were down 3-1, so that was something that was never done in the history of the finals before. So they did a great thing, but with great difficulty too. It wasn't easy. Everything had to go wrong for the Golden State Warriors, and everything had to go right for Cleveland in order for that to happen. And so it happened. Very historic, very memorable. But you gotta understand, the Golden State Warriors had the ability to beat them that year, but they didn't pull it off. Everything that could go wrong went wrong for the Golden State Warriors. Now, the following year after that, instead of Golden State Warriors coming back with the same team that could beat them, that had them down 3-1, that had a great record for the regular season, better than any other team in the history of basketball, they came back with Kevin Durant, with KD, on top of that. So can you imagine, they had them down 3-1 that previous year, and then came back with KD. So it will be an annihilation practically So when they went back to the finals again with the same Golden State Warriors, just with KD added, they had no chance of winning. I mean, well, that's the way they thought. But it looked like they could have pulled off some games and made it a lot closer than it appeared. Okay, but they were demoralized. They felt like after all they did to win without KD, with KD, they really felt like they had no chances. So even the motivation to win wasn't at its high as it was the previous year. And Golden State was very motivated because they felt like they were humiliated after having the best regular season of any NBA team, and then to lose, that was very humiliating for Golden State Warriors. So they came back with lots of drive and motivation to win it. And so you can see the moral mentality. You can see how the morale, in fact, you can see how all of the things that came together to help the Golden State Warriors to win came together, and everything that came together to get the Cavaliers to feel like they couldn't do it also came together. So they had the potential, but they didn't have the drive or motivation. And of course, it still would have been very difficult, but they could have given them a better fight. So LeBron James didn't think that he could win, and you could tell that in his words and in his actions. But he played well, but he still felt like this was, something that they couldn't do. So of course, their spirit was lost after they lost, games. And so Kyrie Irving saw that their leader, LeBron James, the one that they counted on, to help them win. Kyrie Irving saw that if LeBron thinks we can't win, forget it. We're not going to win. You see, so he was even disappointed with LeBron James and what KD was able to do in LeBron James's face. So Kyrie accepted that, forget it. For the next few years, if not forever, we will not be able to beat Golden State Warriors. So Kyrie was not motivated to come back another year and get swept or beat by the Golden State Warriors. He wasn't motivated for that. So he wanted to get out of town. You see, now you have to understand, even though a lot of people are saying, oh, there's a problem between Kyrie and LeBron, I don't really know if that's true, because I saw a video where many good things LeBron said about Kyrie and many good things Kyrie said about LeBron. So we don't know. I mean, it's very possible, highly probable, that they created that scenario in order to help Kyrie get out, because for LeBron, he's thinking they can't beat Golden State Warriors. So, but he had a contract that he has to finish, so he can't leave yet. So, creating that story, there's a problem between me and you. Yeah, Kyrie, okay, we'll tell them there's a problem between me and you, and they'll get you out of here, because Kyrie doesn't want to be there after LeBron leaves. If he stays there one more year with LeBron and his contract is not up yet, then when LeBron leaves, it's going to be harder for Kyrie to create a reason for them to move him. So, of course, it's very possible that this story was just created to help Kyrie get out of there, and LeBron being down with it. So he didn't really try to stop it. Didn't really try to talk to him and try to talk him out of it and try to stop him, because they perhaps talked together. Yeah, I want to get out of here, So we're going to create this story that there's a problem between me and you, and put pressure on the management to get me out of here. And so it worked. And LeBron definitely didn't try to stop it. So it's highly probable that they were down with it, and he let Kyrie use that, as a means to put pressure on them to get him out of there. You see? So people don't understand what the media sees, what the media hears, and all of that. Okay. So anyway, They get Kyrie out of there. And LeBron is just trying to ride through this year so he can go somewhere else. But he's also hopeful of the possibility that they may put people around him and they may win it another year. They may win it. But he's not going to tell them to bring anyone, because, of course, if they don't win, he wants the option to leave. See, LeBron likes keeping his options open. He likes keeping his options open. So if they win, okay, he'll stay and renew the contract. If they don't, then he wants his options open to leave. So he's not going to give any promises saying, I'm going to stay. And then if they don't win, he's caught in this position where he can't go anywhere. So he wants his options open. That's why he makes those one-year contracts and short contracts, because he wants to keep his options open. So even now, he really doesn't know what he's going to do and where he's going to go. He's leaving it to the management to see that, well, if they put the right people around him, maybe he'll stay. And that's exactly the way it would work. If they put the right people around him and they win another title, of course, LeBron James is not going to leave. He's going to stay. You see? So he's trying to keep his options open. He's not going to make any promises. If he goes there to the management and says, give me some people, give me him or him, and then they do that, they want a commitment from him too. If they're going to do this, what are you going to do? That's the way they think. So you have to understand it from both sides. From the management side, they're looking at, look, he's not telling us what he's going to do. He's not committed. So why should I give up this first round draft pick, which may or may not be the highest pick or the best pick, but it should be a pretty good pick. Why should I get rid of this? Because this is what he was really looking for in a trade with Kyrie and Isaiah Thomas. He was really looking at that first round draft pick from the Nets. That's what he was really looking at. He wasn't worried about, how can you imagine that he's worrying about trying to get a good person in place of Kyrie with Isaiah Thomas, who was injured, and they realized his injury is worse than they thought from the beginning? They could have canceled the deal. But you see, he wanted that first round draft pick. You see? So you can see that, no, you think you're going to win it this year, and you're going to take someone that, has very bad defense. He's no addition to the defense, right? He's injured. Do you think they really looked for Isaiah Thomas in order to bring them back to the finals? No, they didn't have any idea. That wasn't even his intention. And, some other pieces. He didn't think that would take them to the finals. So Dan Gilbert wasn't thinking about how to get back to the finals or getting a good, trade pick. And he got rid of, the other general manager, right? He got rid of the other guy. The guy that, I forget what his name was. It's not important right now, but I forget his name. They always have interviews with him. And he got the new guy, right? So he has somebody's going to be a yes man. He tells him what to do and he does it. He got rid of the other guy because he was cool with LeBron and getting LeBron everything that he wanted. That's how he got there, right? So, and that guy was about to make some moves. That's LeBron's last contract year, and the guy's going to try to get people to help him. And then when he leaves them high and dry, that's what Dan Gilbert's been thinking about. LeBron is going to leave us. Or he may not leave us, but he's not counting on that, because as you can see, the moves he's making. And what's really going to tell the story is if he doesn't get anyone before the trade deadline, and that's the way it looks, But if he does, he's trying to get two birds with one stone. See if he can get someone enough to maybe help them get to the finals, but at the same time protect his future interest, after LeBron goes. He's really thinking more about after LeBron goes. Because even he sees what Golden State Warriors are doing. He doesn't even think they can beat the Golden State Warriors. If they couldn't beat the Golden State Warriors with Kyrie and LeBron together, then he's thinking, well, no one's going to be able to beat the Golden State Warriors. He's even looking at the West. No one can beat them over there. So how are they expecting to beat the Golden State Warriors? So really, that's what he's thinking about, the future after LeBron, because if he couldn't do it with LeBron and he couldn't do it with Kyrie, then he's thinking, I'm not going to be able to do it. Okay, but if there's any thoughts of the possibilities that maybe it can happen, he's going to try to safeguard his future and get a little something and see if LeBron can do something with that. Or he just won't do anything because he doesn't have even a thought that they can possibly beat Golden State Warriors. Even LeBron seems like he doesn't think they can beat the Golden State Warriors, right? So LeBron's just trying to go through the motions, to get through the season, So LeBron's not trying to play any defense. All of you have seen that. He can, but he's not really trying. He may make a fake to show that he's trying to play some defense, but he's not. And he's also given up hope about trying to get the MVP of the year. You can see he looked at what Harden is doing, and of course, he sees what Russell is doing. So LeBron, at first he felt motivated to try to get the MVP, but now he sees, I can't even really do that. So let me just get through the season, put up any numbers, and don't play any defense, just get through this season and go to the best shot that he will have to get a title, to get a ring in the future. You have to understand, LeBron James is not a one-man show. He can't do it by himself, you see. He needs another superstar with him, at least, you see. So LeBron James is thinking about that. Get through this season. I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not going to exert myself. I'm not going to play any defense. I put up any numbers as far as points are concerned. Even if we got to the finals, we're not going to beat Golden State. So let me just get through this season and then go to where I have the best shot to get a title. That's what LeBron's thinking about. But he can't tell the media. He can't tell the media, stuff like that. He can't tell them things like that. So he's just, I'm here and we're going to, see if we can get back to the finals and see what... He has to say that, So you got to understand, LeBron doesn't want to get to the finals. He doesn't want even to win the East this year. Meet up with who? Meet up with Kyrie and lose? That would be humiliation. So if he can not even make it to the playoffs, that would be even better. And then go out like that, but not go to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose to Kyrie. That would be humiliating. He doesn't want that to happen. And if they win the East, they'll be beat by Golden State. That's what LeBron is thinking about. Just get through the season. And then he's thinking, well, if they can get me another superstar like Kyrie or better, then we have a shot. And then he'll be motivated again. So he's thinking of both of those. If they play bad enough, right, he's not going to help them with defense or anything. If they play bad enough, maybe they might get some help, trade someone and trade some people. And if LeBron gets someone that he feels like he can get to the finals with, you'll see him get motivated again. Then he'll start playing hard again, playing aggressively then. So all of this depends on what happens by the trade deadline, which is the 8th, right? So all of this depends on what happens by the trade deadline. If they don't get him somebody, another superstar or someone great like Kyrie or better, then LeBron's just going to try to ride through the rest of the season, not really playing defense, not contributing much as far as points are concerned, and hoping that they won't even make the playoffs. Because why go to the playoffs if you're not going to try to get to win the Eastern Conference Finals, and you don't want to do that because you don't want to go to Golden State. Just like Harden, if anyone realizes, even Harden, played well, when they were going with the Western Conference Finals, but after that, he gave up too. I mean, y'all saw that terrible game that he had when they lost, to the Spurs. He gave up. He gave up. So, when people see that, well, if I get there, I'm going to lose, they lose motivation. But if they believe in themselves and they believe they can win it, then they stay motivated and they play hard. Everyone can see LeBron is not playing hard. That's clear as day. So that shows he doesn't really want to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and he doesn't really want to get to the finals unless the management gets him someone like Kyrie or better. Then he'll get motivated again and feel like they have a shot at it, and then he will work hard and play hard again. All right, so just keep an eye on and see what happens before the trade deadline. But it looks like nothing is going to happen. Okay? But we will see. All right. Have a good day.